Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
The Cincinnati Bengals have found a way to get back to over 500. They sit at 7-6 after defeating the Indianapolis Colts 34-14 in a maybe their second most dominant victory, I'd say, other than the 49ers game. So, go back 3 weeks. We didn't expect to be here. We didn't expect that this team would find a way to galvanize around a backup quarterback, that this coaching staff would be on a heater right now. I mean, the last 2 weeks are two of their best called games, two of their best game plan games that we've seen out of Zac Taylor and this crew, to be honest with you. So to do that with this backup quarterback and to get 34 points 2 weeks in a row, hats off to you guys. You can't, I mean, if you are a Zac Taylor critic, Brian Callahan critic, Frank Pollock, everyone on the offensive side, it's hard to be right now. It's how can you do it? You can't. I mean, they're calling great games. The film shows it. I plan on showing that today. New ways every single week now. This offense looks like the best offenses in the league that are using motions and not getting their quarterback hit, not getting their offensive line exposed, using all of their weapons. Exciting time. Wish it was Joe Burrow, but exciting and keeps it interesting for the rest of the year. This is Bengals on the Brain. I'm Joe Goodberry. The show is brought to you by First Star Logistics. They gave away the 2 custom jerseys and the 2 starter jackets, Bengals starter jackets. If you were one of those 2 winners, congratulations to you. Be on the lookout for the next one. It should be live by now. We had a comment last week asking, how can I get involved? It's on Twitter, on X. Look up First Star Log, First Star Logistics. Look up Joe Goodberry, Malik Wright, Dave Lapham. We'll retweet those. We'll get them out there. You'll see the contest with the rules clearly stated below how to enter. So it's on Twitter to answer your question. Now, today's episode. What are we looking for? I think the biggest thing for me, biggest takeaway from this game was the screen game. The Bengals are one of the worst screen teams in the league over the last few years. One of the worst. That's not even an objective. That's that's not a subjective. Excuse me. That's an objective fact. In terms of getting yardage, being successful at it, they've been terrible. And they go into this game and right away, big one to Chase Brown. Then come back, big one to Joe Mixon. Another big one to Chase Brown. I mean, it propelled their offense. Last week versus the Jags, 64% of their yards after the catch, passing yards by Jake Browning, were after the catch. This game, pretty much the same thing. And you're not getting big games from Jamar Chase here. You're not getting a big game from Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. You're getting a big game from Joe Mixon and some help from guys like Tanner Hudson and Chase Brown, which is, hey, go back 2 episodes ago or 2 weeks. Yeah, it had to be going into the Jags game, maybe the Steelers game. And our big area of focus for that one of things we want to see for the rest of the year, the conclusion we came to at the end of that episode was what? If you're going to elevate this offense, it's going to have to be not because Jamar Chase does something extra. It's not going to be because Joe Mixon is Joe Mixon. It's not going to be because T. Higgins is T. Higgins. It's going to be because you're getting Tanner Hudson getting his first touchdown, and he's now different. He's adding to your tight end room. It's going to be because Chase Brown is adding to your running back room and being an explosive playmaker that they drafted him to be. It's going to be DJ Ivey on defense and on special teams. It's going to be these young guys, these unknown guys adding to what you thought you already have. And the Bengals got that. So we're going to go through the offensive film today. We will do the defense. Defense only gave up 7 points. Let's give them some flowers for a minute before we go too far into the film, or about a minute out from that. Give up 7 points. We've had our concerns with the defense. One of the things we also said about a Jake Browning-led team, hey, if you're going to do this, everyone has to play better, and the defense has to play good, like really, really good. And that was one of their best performances of the season. Sure, I came away from that game thinking maybe the Colts aren't even good enough to have 7 wins this year, but that's the record. That's the team on the schedule. You got to do what you got to do, and they handled it. Shout out to Trey Hendrickson. I thought Dax Hill had a good game. A lot of people had good games, to be honest with you. BJ Hill, finds a way to make plays. I don't know how sometimes. It's like you overlook him because he doesn't flash all the time, and then boom, interception, or boom, sack, force fumble, fumble recovery. And happy to have BJ Hill and see the progress of a guy like Chidobe Awuzie coming back from injury. See DJ Turner continue to flash as a second-round rookie. Exciting times for the defense. I think they've got a long way to go still, but at the same time, if they can perform close to this team's going to be tough for the rest of the year. Let's dive into the tape and let's break down. Here it is. Let's break down what makes a good screen, why the Bengals are good at it right now. Ooh, Chase Brown is fast. First play of the game is something I think the offense is doing really well without Joe Burrow. And it's called a half field read. So cut the field directly in half, and we're not going to worry about the tight end on the side or the receiver on this side. We're only going to worry about, and in fact, I think Tyler Boyd goes this way as well. So we're not going to worry about those three guys. What we're going to end up with is Jamar Chase running out, and after the play action, we've got Joe Mixon going to the flat. So basically, it's almost a high-low read. I don't really care what the safety's doing other than, if he does something crazy. But I'm just reading this half of the field, one half. So I'm going to do play action. Keep it simple for your quarterback, and is what they're doing with Jake Browning. Other things that also are pretty cool as we hit play here. I know what happens. Tyler Boyd goes in motion that way. So that's right. He's at motion at the snap, which is something we asked for since the Rams game or right before the Rams game, something the Dolphins are doing a ton of. Motion at the snap, guy under center. So now we end up with multiple players going to the left, just to be clear here that when we're talking about not worrying about that side of the field. And we got play action. So motion at the snap, play action. Eyes up, Jake Browning. And we're just looking at the out route here, or whatever we want to call it. I think that's what it is. It looks like a deep out route. Or if that's covered and the linebacker has gained too much depth this way, instead of coming down on Joe Mixon, quickly turn and hit Joe Mixon for the easy gain. And he does. And Mixon's going to pick up a handful of yards. Simple read, simple concept. Get the ball out of your quarterback's hands. Now next, we're back under center. And we've got orbit motion with Jamar Chase. You see Chase coming around like that, right? That's what we call orbit motion when he comes all the way around. And watch the linebackers. We'll get to that. Watch the linebackers, watch the defenders after we get the play action here. Watch how many of them are going to flow. So the blue, they're going to flow towards Jamar Chase, towards your best receiver, your best offensive weapon. And there we go. Let's pause it. Your number one, your number two, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. How much attention are they receiving from the Colts? You got 5 guys over there. And if I'm rushing 4, that means there's 2 guys on 2 guys this way. So we got one here, and we sat down right here. Look at the separation. I mean, even here, okay, fine, he's covered. He's working this way anyways, I believe. He's working here. Would have checked it down if not, but then worked back to the middle of the field based on what the coverage is. But this type of separation, huge. He's wide open. Tyler Boyd is wide open over the middle of the field. If you can get that far, you can make this read and get it to him. Let me clear that line for us. And Tyler Boyd make a guy miss, pick up another 5 yards out of it. Go ahead and spin that ball. Really nice spin. Other thing I like on this is we're going to bring Drew Sample over on this play action to block and help out. And Drew Sample is being asked to do a lot right now in this Bengals offense. Here he comes to take the end. He doesn't hold up there too well. But watch Browning come off Higgins, find Tyler Boyd over the middle, and complete this pass. Good job with pressure in your face, staying calm, not freaking out, not Andy Dalton, right? Don't panic. Don't panic, Jake. Get to your next guy. All right, we've got our first screen. We've got the first big play of the day. This is the screen, 54 yards to Chase Brown. Eyes on Jamar Chase. Remember Jamar Chase again, orbit motion all the way around. It's going to get the attention of these guys once again. They're all going to see it. They're all going to be like, oh no, here comes Jamar Chase. Keep our eyes on Jamar Chase. Make sure you don't let Chase get out there. So again, this guy jumps down here on Chase. We've got this safety flowing this way. This guy's in man coverage that way, and that's because I believe that's Irv Smith. I'm not sure who that is. I think it's Irv Smith, but because everyone is going this direction, the defense is flowing. You really only have one defender here that can be a problem. He stayed home, but you'll see on the other angle, he bites in, and then now he wants to come out and get on Chase Brown and make a play. So the whole defense for the Colts flowing one way. 3 guys are paying attention to Jamar Chase, and there is nobody over there for Chase Brown. And my God, he is fast. Make a play at the end, does it. Good job. Look at the crowd go nuts. I love when you can see him from this angle. But what makes the screen very good? How does this work? It's not just motions and getting guys across. I also should mention, we talked about Drew Sample coming across. Here is Mitch Wilcox doing the same thing. So the defense is going to see that and take note. Like these guys, they're looking for any type of motion where it looks like these guys might be blocking one way. It's not just the action of the skill players, it's the blockers too that throws them off, and we'll get them to move and move and move. So as you watch this play, I like this right here because Chase Brown is going to almost look like he is setting up to pass protect, right? The way he kind of takes this, he settles down right here. You almost have to give it a click and then you leak out. And the thing that messes up a lot of screens and why the Bengals weren't good at this, because sometimes you have to navigate around one of these blockers to get to the spot. Sometimes you've got to hesitate and fight through to get to the spot. You can be too shallow this way. You can be too deep this way. You can be too narrow this way, too wide this way, and it ruins the timing on the screen. It's all about angles and timing when you want to run a screen. So let's watch Chase Brown leave. This is 23. The guy said that stayed home and had good eyes on him. He looked like he did. He just couldn't make a play once it came to it. Got a nice nudge by Ted Karras that's leaking out right now. So Ted Karras does a good job fighting through, getting through. Now he's just going to try and get enough of this guy so that Chase Brown can run free. Let me go back just a little bit. I want to see it in full motion. Good job by Ted Karras. Ted Karras is actually playing fantastic lately. Fantastic. I'm very happy with Ted Karras. And you see the way, okay, so Karras comes out and he's overrun, right? All his weight's on this one. So now he's got to come back and just get enough of this guy. Just get enough of a piece to wash this guy that way. To wash 23, the linebacker, that way. And he does. And now we are running. Look at these boys. Look at Cordell Volson out there. Full speed. It was Irv Smith that was running that post route. So one of Jake Browning's hair on fire plays. Look how his eyes all over the place. Bing, 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 bing. Who's open? Who's open? Who's open? All right, let me make a play. Oh, we got 2 defenders coming in, closing in on us. Let's gain some depth. Is anyone open over there? There is Drew Sample. Get it out. 3rd down conversion. Hey, it's not all the system. It's not all easy plays and easy reads and easy throws for this Bengals offense for Jake Browning. Sometimes you got to create, and there he is creating there, making a little magic happen. Hey, we got Charlie Jones out there, number 15. They basically used him the same way on the couple of snaps he did have, which was come in motion this way, go back, go in motion this way, come back this way. They're using him like a speed slot, a lot of jet action, a lot of jet motion, which jet motion, if you don't know, is just a receiver a lot of time just coming this way. You want to try and snap it around this time so that you can't tell, the defender can't tell if you're handing it off to him or not, which will hopefully widen everyone out. If you're running it that way, they'll flow with it, and then you'll run this way, if that makes sense. We don't have a play to show. They haven't done that well. Actually, I did give one to Chase this week. I should have highlighted that. But we got play action. We got Charlie Jones in motion at the snap. We got play action, and we've got a screen to Joe Mixon. Blockers out in front, and Joe's going to do a great job keeping his balance multiple times there. Stiff arming, finding more. I mean, he is running with authority. That is good speed for a big power back. Again, we're going to look at what makes a screen play good here. What makes it work? That play action. Look at the play action. Sucks this guy up. He pauses, does a good job staying right there. And now they're saying, oh, now it's not. Now we can tell at this point it is not a run. So let's now at this point run back. Whoop. Look at him. Not a run. Go back into pass protection or pass coverage. I mean, this guy's not even looking, right? He's looking this way. He's drifting back. He's drifting back. Now you've gained so much depth. Unlike last time when we ran the screen and that 23 was right on Chase Brown, could have made a play. There's really no one here. So Mixon gets out, leaks out. We've got two blockers that are already peeling off here. Mixon just has to get to the right spot, which is about right here when you're on this hash mark. It's about in between the numbers, about here between the hash mark and the numbers at the midpoint is your aiming point at the right time. Let's see if he gets there. Perfect. Good job cutting back between Cordell Volson. Watch T. Higgins. He's pretty funny here. T's going to realize, like, oh, we got a screen going. There's T up here on the top left. T's going to be like, oh, let me go get some. And he does. We haven't run successful screens since I've been here, T said. And he would be right. Tanner Hudson in motion. We're going to run another screen. This time, the Colts are on it. So why didn't this one work? Bengals have had a lot of them that have not worked. So this is a good example. Watch this defensive end on that side. So once they start thinking the screens are coming, watch how he goes inside. The last two, I didn't point them out, but I'll show another one. We have another successful. You want to almost invite this guy to go outside and towards you because it's going to get him out of the way. You want to invite these guys, these defensive tackles, to the left if you're running the screen to the right. So you want to create the lane by how you're setting up in your pass protection. And you see how that end, he knew it all the way. That end saw it. And as soon as Mixon tried to leak out, he's got a hand on him. Now, this is a good thing for later. You'll see it slows down the pass rush now. Well, it's not this play, but I've got a play saved here where it'll slow down the pass rush. Hey, this is a play out of the Dolphins playbook. We've got Tanner Hudson here doing the orbit motion this time. He's going to go from the right side back to behind Jake Browning and then to the right, all at the snap. And we're going to fake a pitch to Joe Mixon. All of that is going to freeze this end. It's going to cause this guy to come up. It's going to cause this guy to come up. Everyone sees it. Everyone is going to move now because of it. Especially that linebacker here, 44 is the guy we're really going to focus on. And I wrote down here, you could actually throw this. Like on another play, in another instance, I think the Bengals could come back to this play and say, hey, we basically got almost a screen dump off with Tanner Hudson leading the way. And I think the Dolphins have run this before. So maybe we see them come back to it. You could throw this to Joe Mixon, right? Right here. Like if you would have just turned and flipped it out and Hudson blocks this guy, you may end up with this guy coming underneath, but Mixon can outrun that. Maybe Chase Brown can. So that'd be nice to see if they come back to it. But this is a nice hole shot, nice window throw to T. Higgins that looks extra crispy from the end zone angle. Watch 44. They've got him in a blender, confused. Lots of action. Okay. So not only is he now way out of, because he's supposed to be like right here. He ends up going out wide because of all that action going that way. So now he's super wide, number one. Number two, because of Tyler Boyd coming this way, like on a crossing route, you're getting the attention of this safety who's now going to run with Boyd, but we're not going to Boyd. So the two actions, number one, the guys to the right and Boyd going to the left, open up this giant window for T. Higgins to come behind as the second receiver in this route combination. This is what the Dolphins do all the time. They almost have two guys that'll trail and hook behind each other in the middle of the field, or one will clear it out and then the other guy hooks behind it. And you put that linebacker in a bind, you put him in conflict, and they just pick off of him. All right, which one do you want to take? We're going to throw to the other guy. All right, we got another play action here. This is very similar to the first play I showed, where I said it's a half field read. So again, same play. We're going to read just half the field. We got Jamar Chase running the deep out, and we're going to have Joe Mixon running the, it's to the flat. I don't even know what to call that, actually. I don't remember what that's called. I'm having a bit of a brain fart right now. Anyways, doesn't matter. Two guys. Which one's open? And are they look at the attention now to Joe Mixon. Even this end is coming back. So last time we threw it to Mixon, this time we're going to say, all right, Jamar, make a play. And he does. He gets open at the catch point, makes the grab, first down, Bengals. The benefits of play action. You get this defensive end, and it's not just him, it's all of these guys, to read the run. He wants eyes in. He wants his eyes in. He wants his eyes in. Everyone wants their eyes on the run. Same with the second level guys. Eyes in, eyes in, eyes in, eyes in. So anything you're doing behind them creates more space. The gap between the safeties and the second and third levels grows now because he's still going to drop back, ideally. I mean, sometimes the safeties do run out, but you're going to have a bigger gap between the second and third levels, and you're getting the defensive lineman to stop their feet and read run. Is it a run play? Okay, it's not. Now we're double blocking everyone. Everyone's double teamed over here. The 3D linemen on this side are being double teamed. And this defensive end on the right side, watch him. Is it a screen? Do I need to go out and get Mixon on the screen? Oh, it's not a screen. It's not a screen. So now you're not rushing at all. I mean, look at this. Look at this pocket. All because we've got play action and max protection. Got two tight ends on this side over here. Double teamed, double teamed, double teamed. Jonah has nobody because of these successful screens. This guy's running with Mixon for no reason. I mean, man, where's this been? Why can't we get Joe Burrow with this more often? Running the screens on time to perfection. I posted this one on Twitter. This is vintage Joe Mixon. Vintage Joe Mixon. What do I mean by that? When Joe Mixon was coming out, he was a rare blend of size and speed, power and speed. When you're 6'2", 230, and you can run a 4.5, that's a hard guy to judge when he's running. And he could do things like this. You see these outside guys cutting in. So his eyes, I want to say here, I'm not 100% sure, but he's eyeing this guy with an eye on what happens on the edge. So if you see these guys start to dip inside, bounce it outside. Feel free. You do you have that speed still, Joe? Go. Bang. And can you outrun that corner? Good job. This is vintage Mixon. Like, these are the plays I remember. When Mixon was in his prime, those were the runs he would rip off every game. And you'd go, whew, they just can't match they can't judge him. He is a hard guy to try and judge his speed and match his speed. Now we get a play out of the Chiefs playbook. Chiefs have run this hundreds of times. In fact, Travis Kelce probably has 15 career touchdowns on this. You're going to motion into a tight bunch. I mean, they could probably be a little tighter in other formations, but this is tight. This isn't out here or anything. I'm making a mess on the screen, but this is a tight bunch. And what this does is back off the corners and the DBs. They're going to hang out back here. They're not going to come up and play right here, and right here. Why? Because they'll get all jammed up. If you start switch releasing, they'll just run into each other and you'll end up with a wide open player. So right away, you're like, okay, this is you use these to beat man coverage typically. So right away, when you see these guys are backed off like this, you're like, I'm good. So we got a switch release, like I said. And you watch Tanner Hudson go outside, right? So these guys, the receivers, are going inside, and Tanner Hudson is going to go around them. You're switching it up to keep guys from playing you so tight, and it gives you a free release. So watch Tanner Hudson as he goes outside. Now all the DBs are dropping back. They're giving you the space. They're spreading themselves out. Watch that outside guy. He needs to protect this area. And this guy over here needs to protect this area. This guy over here needs to protect this area. So they all start drifting into those spots. And this guy is going to protect here, right? So where's the open area? If they're all protecting those spots, where's the open area? Right here? Well, these guys are running through it, which is going to create more space for Tanner Hudson to go like this. So Hudson's going to come out, he's going to stem up, and then he's going to break into this open area. That's going to be right there. All because you bunched them up, then you switched them. So that corner's got outside leverage. Now you have you're going to break to the inside open area. There it is. Easy. I mean, you're not shaking the guy at the top of your route. You're not doing anything crazy. It's all because of the release and all because of the bunch set. So great call, great design. We could use more of that, to be honest with you. Here's Tanner Hudson actually beating a guy with his route running, with his athletic ability. So back-to-back Tanner Hudson plays. Watch one-on-one. You've got inside help here because they dropped this safety down. And while the outside corner is covering, I believe that's T, who's running deep. So this corner or safety, I'm not even sure if it's safety or corner, but 32, I believe it is, that's covering Tanner Hudson. He knows he doesn't have any outside help. He has to protect from the outside. He has to protect from letting Hudson get out there. Because think about it. If Hudson runs here, what's going to happen? This guy's just going to break on it, right? So you've got help to the inside. You don't have help here because this guy is running that way with T. Higgins. So that DB that's covering Hudson knows I can't let this guy get outside. I can't let him. I have no help out there. And I believe it's third down. And yet Hudson still is able to cross him. And I like the way he squats his hands down too. So he's going to squat at the top of his route, give a little. He's going to give a little inside, just one step. Bang. And then knock the hands down. Boom, boom. So if there was any hope for that guy to stick on him, not anymore. Look at that separation at the top of the route. So again, watch his hands. Bang, bang. Separation. He's got 2 or 3 yards there. First down, Tanner Hudson. Let's zoom in a little bit more for you. Watch the eyes on this guy. His head is inside. How did you end up looking inside? You had help inside. This happened with Dax Hill and Dalton Schultz. We gave Dax Hill a bunch of crap for that one. But same thing. Here's our guy Tanner doing it. One of the best plays, most creative plays, funnest plays of the day. Bengals are driving, and they come out 4th and 1. I think it was less than 1, but 4th and short. And they've got both running backs out there, Chase Brown, Joe Mixon. Look at this. Joe Mixon's at fullback. You guys been wanting a fullback. You just didn't know it was Joe Mixon, did you? So Joe Mixon's the up back. He's going to get the fullback dive, make a nice cutback against the grain, and pick up that first down. Almost scoring, getting very, very close. The Bengals will score on this couple plays later with Jake Browning. But what I like about this play is that Chase Brown goes out this way. So you could fake this and flip a pitch. And what it's going to do is this guy, this unblocked defender, may go too wide because he's got to run with him. Or maybe this guy does because he's got to be whoever has Chase Brown here is going to end up going too wide. And what it does is if we can get blocks here, we get a seal here and a seal here. Joe Mixon's going to see it right away and boop, get between them. Boop, boop. That's the sound it makes when you get between two linemen. So you see him there. Make this jump cut, Joe. Land, boom, hit it. Get north-south. Sometimes you got to go east-west, get north and south again, and he does a great job there. We got another screen. Another screen. This time, instead of a lot of misdirection, we're just going to run everyone deep. What makes a good screen? Running these guys. Sometimes receivers don't want to just straight up run all the way downfield on screens, but you got to. It's part of the game. Linemen getting out in front, blocking for you. Receivers blocking. Drew Samples down there blocking. 24 yards. Chase Brown. Chase Brown gets a little bit after contact here. How about that? Another thing, what makes screens good? Focus on the guards. Watch how they influence what the defensive line does for the Indianapolis Colts. So what they want to do is they want to set, they want to jump set, which jump set means quickly I want to, right off the snap, is I want to attack you. I'm not waiting and being passive. I'm being aggressive in pass protection. And not only am I being aggressive, I'm attacking their up shoulder this way. I'm going to attack this side. I want to jump onto that side of them. And why do I want to do that? Because what you get is now it's going to force this guy to make a play this way. The defender is going to feel that naturally that, oh, you're trying to jump set me here. I can easily rush this way. And now that forces them to go that direction. Let's watch it again. Look at that. Let me go back one more time. Watch how they together in unison force these D tackles to go that way. So there's their jump set. Boom. Together. Now release. And now because everyone went inside and the edge guy, who I didn't highlight, went all the way around the outside this time. Look at these blockers out in front. You've got everyone out here. Bang, you get him. You climb up, you get him. You come get him or whatever you got to do. Actually, I'm not sure who'll get to on this one. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, that's right. We had it right. Good job, Chase Brown, making a guy miss, getting a few extra yards, more than a few, maybe 10 after contact. That's what we'd like to see. We need that explosiveness. Watch this end on this side. Dip in. He dipped in. What's Chase Brown see right away? Bang, go for it. Make this guy miss now. Cut up field. I'm excited for Chase Brown. My God, am I excited for Chase Brown. All right, right here. Again, he's running. He's supposed to go up the middle. And he could, if he's fast enough, he could burst right through this because we got Ted Karras going up to his linebacker. He's going to seal him off. Like, go for it, right? The only problem is look at the long arm. Both these guys long arming this shoulder, the inside shoulder where I want to run. That's going to eliminate that gap. So let's watch them eliminate it and push these two guards inside. You see them? See how they're walking them back? That hole is skinny. Could he fit through there? Maybe. I wouldn't get much after that. So what does he do instead? Watch this jump cut. Whoop. Hit the burners now. This is clean, man. No wasted movements. Hit that burner. Bang. And take that hit. I even like the way he takes the hit and rolls with it. Is that weird? Do you guys know what I'm saying? Was that aesthetically pleasing for you? Now we get a failed screen to Chase Brown. Let's see what happens here. Let's see why this one doesn't work. Watch the end on this side again. Maybe we should run the screens a different way. So the end goes inside, right? You saw him go. Makes it harder now. Like I said, if he goes inside, now the gap, the adjustment by this guy is, do I go around this way to get to the spot? Do I fight between them and get to the spot? How do I still get to the spot for the running back? And the eyes, this guy, he's not looking, but because he's trying to fight over this way. I think they're really like trying to not give up the run here. The 2D tackles are really fighting to get to the right. I even like Chase Brown here. He's pointing like he's going to pass protect, but you see these ends or you see these D tackles? They're fighting their way over. They're trying to get out in front. This could still work, but you got to execute it at a high level because once you catch it now, he already knows I got to cut back inside. I have to cut back inside here because, and I think Jake Browning helps him. You place it on the side, helps me go, okay, I'm going to cut back in this way. But if you can wall this guy off here and you can wall this guy off, you can cut it back up behind these guys. Good job by this guy, though. He's going to make it tough. That's the guy that's going to make it tough. See, you could. It's like, imagine if he was still on his feet there. Something still could have happened there. That's the failed last one. Overall, great day. So the Bengals doing a lot of new things, a lot of motion, a lot of screens, a lot of bootlegs, rolling pockets, easy half-field reads, high-low reads, maybe flooding one side and just letting Browning pick the short, medium, or deeper option depending on the coverage. It's what you got to do with the backup, and they're doing a great job. I think the question now is, why couldn't they do this with Burrow? Right? I think it's a whole discussion. How long can this last, number one? But you got to be able to do some of this with Burrow. You got to be able to put him under center and run these screens. Maybe the timing's wrong for Burrow on these screens. Maybe it's something he can work on. Maybe seeing this offense will open his mind to more things and more max protection. Burrow only likes 5 guys protecting. He wants to go 5 wide and put everyone in routes and go empty and pick the best option, right? We know this. They've said this. So maybe seeing a little bit more max protect work is something he'll be like, all right, I need to keep myself clean. I can't let myself get hit as often as I have been. There's stuff to take from this. There's a marrying of the two because you don't want to, like right now, everything looks great, but they'll probably get into a game where Browning is going to have to throw the ball. And you may say, what do you mean? He's been throwing it the last 2 weeks. There's a difference between manufactured and scheming throws open and giving half-field reads and easier reads and getting, really making it methodical on how you want to control the quarterback. And the first game against the Steelers, where they like dropped him into the Joe Burrow offense and said, be Joe Burrow. And he was terrible, right? So there's going to become a time where you're down by 10 points or the defense is super stingy, like the Vikings this week. And honestly, a few of the defenses they're going to go against the remainder of the year. The Browns, the Chiefs have been a really good defense this year. The Steelers. How is it going to work then? If the screens aren't working, if the run game's getting stuffed, now you need Browning to drop back and make NFL throws. And I'm not discrediting Browning. He's playing above the expectation. He's doing great for what they're asking him to do. I mean, you want what Burrow can do, which is make those NFL throws, decipher defenses, read them, pick it out, know where to go with the ball and hit it, bang, and be laser like he is. But also marry what they're doing with Browning and incorporate some of the things that Browning is comfortable with and do some of the things that Browning has really executed at a high level. One of them being the screens. And if you can do that, look at the explosive plays they're getting out of the run game, out of the screen game. And now the sound of those two offenses together, that could be the best thing that comes out of this season, is they figure out that, yes, we can scheme things still. We still can be on the cutting edge of what today's offense looks like. And now we can insert Burrow into it and take it to another level that a lot of teams can't, like the Dolphins and the 49ers. You've got Brock Purdy, who is able to go off script and do a lot of stuff. Honestly, Brock Purdy's tape this year has been fantastic in most of the games. He's not a straight-up system quarterback. Like Burrow wouldn't be a straight-up system quarterback. If you can elevate beyond that, that's how you end up with an MVP-type season. You've got to marry the two. Pat Mahomes is in a great system, but we've seen he can do so many crazy things outside of it, outside of structure. Ooh, I hurt my jaw there. Outside of structure, that's how he's an MVP player. And that's how we get Joe Burrow in this offense to the next level. So this is all exciting. This has been Bengals on the Brain. I'm Joe Goodberry. The next episode will be Friday. We are definitely going to look at the defense. There are a lot of guys to go over, a lot of plays to go over. Our first look at DJ Ivey. Can't wait to do that because he played really, really well. Maybe they got something. Had a lot of comments from Hurricanes fans that they were not excited about the prospects of DJ Ivey in the NFL. And they were shocked to see him play the ball the way he did. That'll be Friday. Be on the lookout for that. I'm Joe Goodberry. It's Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. Until then, who dey?
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realized self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.